New Zealand may be known for its rugby and for its Lord of the Rings, but actually you'd be surprised to know it's one of the finest premium wine exporters in the world. I'm here at Mission, New Zealand's oldest winery, on a quest to find out what's good and what's not in Hawke's Bay.
Hawke's Bay is one of New Zealand's oldest winemaking regions. In the 1930s, an earthquake flattened most of the area, including the town of Napier. The quake also devastated the wineries, but despite the setback, the area has flourished in the last few decades. The area also vies with Wales for the world's longest place name. A day isn't a long time to try and learn the intricacies of wine tasting. I barely know my Void Neuf from my Chardonnay, but luckily for me, Gareth Kelly from Odyssey New Zealand was on hand to explain a few things.
We do have the country's oldest winery, the Mission Estate. They started with sacramental wine to serve with the Catholic Mass during Communion, and they were established in 1851, but as the industry is today, it's a very young industry. We're realistically only 20 years old in regards to the varieties that we're growing now.
I'm just going to show you how you may or may not taste a wine. We've got these tulip-shaped glasses into which I've poured a wine, and by spinning the wine around to let some more air in with the wine to smell it, you get 4/5 of the pleasure through your nose and 1/5 followed in your mouth. So it's very important that you do mix the air in with the wine to get the best from it.
Although New Zealand has started making an impact on our own supermarket shelves, it is still a young winemaking country. Tesco alone sells almost 5 times the volume of wine that New Zealand produces in a year. I asked Barry Riwai what makes Hawke's Bay so special.
The climate's what makes the wines out here, the climate coupled with the soil, and that's all influenced by the sea. So the soil's been put down by the sea, so we're over river shingles, and we've got lovely loam soil over river shingles with a little bit of clay as well, which means that for most of the vineyard we don't have to irrigate. So the wines that we make are truly a product of our climate.
With its dry climate, Hawke's Bay certainly has a natural advantage when growing vines. I asked Pip Austin, General Manager of Selene Estates, what makes New Zealand wines more competitive than some of their rivals.
Unlike the equivalent wines from, say, Burgundy or Bordeaux, our competitive advantage is that they don't need to be cellared. You can pretty much crack open a bottle and enjoy it immediately, or if you really like it, you buy a whole lot more, stick it in your cellar and enjoy it over a period of years.
Okay, and how long can you keep it in the cellar until it's a little bit too long?
It really depends. I mean, usually on the back of the bottle it hopefully should give you an indication. You generally say for most sort of good quality New Zealand red wines that you're looking at around an 8 to 10 year period, sometimes a little longer. But the secret is always to buy a reasonable quantity, say 6 bottles, and try them over a period of time. There's nothing worse than keeping things in your cellar too long and then not being able to drink it.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
No problem.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I don't really know much about wine, but the great thing about coming to New Zealand has been the fact that I've learnt so much so quickly, and there's no pretense around the actual tasting. I've learnt loads about Merlot, Sauvignon Blanc and Syrah, Shiraz in Australia, and the best thing about New Zealand is that you can really enjoy the taste of a wine in the day.